Hey, and welcome to another day on the shop. Trash. Today we are going to be looking at a new project that I just started, and I'm not done with it, but I'm working on it. Something everybody should need whenever they're doing a lot of dirty work. It's a parts washer. So, you got dirty parts? Get you a parts washer. You don't have a parts washer, get you a sink. This actually cost a little bit more than what I wanted to spend, but it has universal parts everywhere. They all are on Amazon and they all can come in within about a week. So if it ever goes down, I got a week and I'll have another part. It's all cheap and easy parts. But first of all, the backbone to this is my sink. My sink was given to me by a plumber friend who didn't need it anymore. It actually had a faucet. I took the faucet off. The faucet cost more than what this sink cost new. So put it in my kitchen. Works great. Anyway, but I decided since I had this sink, why not make a parts washer? It'd be the best thing I could possibly have. See the little VW case in here? It's working out to get all the dirt and grime and everything else, oil, everything old, nasty, the stuff that won't come off with just everyday little bit of stuff. Throwing some degreaser on it, letting it sit, washing it, scrubbing it, letting it go through the system. So, I also had some 2x4s lying around. So I got some 2x4s. As you see down there, I have some casters. Don't pay attention to my American flag. Crocs. Everybody needs some Crocs in their life. These are my first pair. So, got casters, locking casters on the front. The shelf is not done on the bottom. I am using Purple Power just because I had it laying around and it was cheap and I wanted to see how this works. So, use that. Filtration system and all that is not the greatest. I actually am going to change it up a little bit because I'm having some issues. Big particles are gumming up everything on top of this. Purple Power is foaming and not just being a, I don't know, liquid completely. It's foaming up and it's causing a couple of issues. Nothing major, but enough to annoy me. So, as you see on the front, sink, brush wand, bucket, on-off switch, little power supply. This power supply is a 12-volt power supply. It's just like a computer charger or anything else. It has a 12-volt outlet on the end of it. I cut it off. I wired it into here. This actually comes from the plug back here. It's not the greatest job for some extension cord, but I cut the plug off the power adapter. And here it is. It goes into there, comes around, comes through the switch, and then plugs into here. Which this comes out of here, plugs in this box to this. This is a fuel pump. It is not the most powerful, but it works. It works great. Gets the job done that I need. I do have a few valves on here to cut some fluid back if need be. But like I said, it's not the most powerful, but it works. Got a fuel filter right here. This pump pulls fluid from the bottom through the fuel filter up into it and out the outlets over here. So you saw that this fuel pump has a valve right here just in case I ever need to do anything with that, but there's no pressure beyond this really when this is off. So this is just here for no reason really. The adapter goes into the PVC, which is locked down, but it still goes up and down, so it has a little bit of versatility with that. Comes over, tees off right here, comes to a valve. This valve acts as a sink. As you see, it's draining. You can shut it off, and then all the fluid goes straight through the wand, through this tube, to the little brush wand, which works really well. It's not shooting out at like a water hose speed, but it drains out pretty well and it will fill this sink up in a couple of minutes. So let's get down here. This is my bucket. Well, actually, we'll start here. This is my drain. My drain comes from this sink, not both sinks. I do have the package right here that I gotta put in, which connects, as you see on there, both sinks to a T, and that T will drain down to here. Right now I just played with it and seen how I was doing it, but this will connect to the T and this will connect to an L pipe that comes over here, drains into here. Alright, so down here it's quite dirty, but we'll pull this too. Alright, this drain drains down into a piece of PVC which is on a bracket of not steel mesh but expanded metal. So it's lifted up about an inch off the bottom of here, so if any sediment drops down it traps it in there. It doesn't just fall out and go everywhere. This is my filter for big particles and everything else, just to make it all the way up to the fuel filter. It is in a piece of PVC, and that's a drain for a drain screen for a sink, but it sits down in there. Like I said, the drain comes down here and it is about an inch off the floor of the bucket. Then the pickup is about 3 inches above the bottom on top of another piece of expanded metal so that it doesn't get all that bad sediment. So that is my bucket, and the reason why I'm using a 5-gallon bucket is so that it's easy, it's cheap, I can replace it, I can seal it up, and this fluid doesn't go anywhere, and I can hold more fluid than I actually intend to need. So, like I said, comes up, goes into the fuel filter, goes to the fuel pump, goes around, comes over here to the wand. So, I'll show you all what the wand does. Alright, with a flip of a switch, did I unplug it? I did unplug it. Let me plug it back in. Alright, take two. With a flip of a switch, hear the fuel pump running, see fluid coming through, fluid draining out, and then we can brush, and we can clean, and we can fill things up. If we don't like this after brushing everything off, which has actually done a really good job, we do have wire brushes and everything else in the mix for cleaning up the really dirty stuff. But if we don't want to do this and we want to fill the sink up, open this valve, close this valve, and you'll see the fluid. It starts pouring out of here. But my issue, like I said, is this fluid isn't coming out fast enough, and my fluid also bubbles up. It doesn't bubble up as bad because I've added some water to it, just to make it not as concentrated so it's just not foaming. So my other issue is the sediment that goes down the drain. I do have a screen down here, as you see, but you see all this dirt and mud and oil over the years? Well, it drains right down in there, straight down into the bucket. This screen, it catches the big stuff. So my issue is all that dirt and all that bad stuff goes straight down into that bucket, and when it gets in that bucket it floats around and then comes up and gets caught in the fuel filter. So I need another particle filter, as of just a fine cloth or anything else. So that's one thing I've got to do as of an upgrade to my parts washer, including hooking this sink up. So if I did need to, I could just fill this sink up with a wand and keep whatever part I had sitting in here as of jugs, pistons, a head, a shifter, or anything else like that. I've got plenty of parts that need to be cleaned up due to taking this whole entire air-cooled engine apart. The bottom of the oil pan, which can go in here as well. So, but that's it. I'll put the link in the description for most of everything I can down below. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. I will do another update on this once I start figuring out my issue with the sediment and all that. I'll have this other sink hooked up. I should have either 1 or 2 buckets hooked up by that point, and I'll have a shelf and quite a few other things in here, and this won't sit in the middle of my shop like it is. It'll be put in a proper place so I can do some parts washing, because as you see, my shop is an absolute mess right now. So keep a clean shop. It makes all the cars happy, and especially the person owning it. But I want to thank you for joining in to another episode of the shop. If you have any questions, like I said, comment down below. You want to check out any of the parts or any of my previous videos, check out my previous videos, check out the parts down in the description. If you want any merchandise as of this shirt or stickers or anything, you can hit me up on Instagram under the shop worldwide, or you can check out Teesprings and they'll get that out to you once you order it. We have giveaways, that's on Instagram. Check them out. But make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can keep up with more giveaways and more projects. So, hope you have a great day. Until next time.